Welcome back, everybody. It's time for another episode of Theater Talk Live. That's right, it's Tuesday, and we're going to talk about all the things that are near and dear to your heart. And speaking of things that are near and dear to people's hearts, well, there's one thing that's near and dear to my heart, and his name is Gary Blouse. And he is awesome.
Wow.
I
What an
don't know where
introduction.
these things come from, man. They just kind of come out. Now, for the folks that haven't heard of you yet, and I don't think there are any of them left, but for the folks that don't know who you are, maybe we can kick things off with a quick intro of who you are, what you do, who you work with, and why people should care.
Got it. Okay. So my name is Gary Blouse. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Storm Audio. And, the Storm Audio is a French manufacturer of audio, video, electronics that are used in high-end cinemas. So that's the who I am and what we're here to talk about. There's a few things that really kind of set us apart. One of the biggest things, and we'll talk about this during the CDA discussions, is calibration ability and tools that are built in. But again, the Storm Audio is the brand that we'll be talking about.
Right on. So for folks that are just joining, we have Gary from Storm Audio. We're going to be talking all about their gear, but specifically, we're going to talk a lot about CEDIA and all of the cool things that Storm is going to have on show at CEDIA. Now, if you're out there saying, what the heck is a CEDIA? Well, you obviously need to watch my show more because I've been talking about this a lot. CEDIA is a once-a-year trade show for I guess you would call it the custom installer kind of market, folks, right? So these are the companies that make a living off of setting up and building the most awesome things in people's homes that you can imagine. Everything from control systems to humongous $1 million home theaters to cool lighting to shades to, anything that you could possibly imagine, including awesome remote controls, are going to be here. And one of those cool, awesome things is Storm Audio. And so, everybody out there, if you have questions, drop those into the chat. We'll get those answered as quickly as we can. And just a few quick shout outs. Hi-Fi Haven is here with us. We've got Supernova Moore is with us. Double A, still working on getting to a triple A, or maybe he's trying to get to a single A. I'm not sure which way he's going. Is here with us tonight. Richard is here with us as well. He is a channel member, so he is channel royalty. So welcome, Richard. Glad to have you with us. All right, now with all that out of the way, Storm Audio and CEDIA. Let's get into it. What's going on there?
Well, let's. I think we need to, before we talk about this year's CEDIA, let's talk about last year's CEDIA. Okay. So last year we had a big amount of demos last year that were active. We had 7 of them last year. At the end of CEDIA, the entire team was so exhausted. We said we'll never ever do 7 of them again. And this year we're doing 8. So
that's awesome.
Here's the thing: we have a lot of partners in the business, and when they want to use our processor, we want to let them use it because we know that we're going to make their speakers sound better. So it's a good thing that we get exposure, but they also get great sound from their products. So, but yeah, we definitely have a lot going on this year. Do you want to look at the presentation that I throw together? Do we want to go there next?
Absolutely, we can. And speaking of presentations real quick, David is here in the audience, and he's up in Canada, and he is a, hi-fi guy, home theater, calibrator premier, and he's going to be coming on the show to co-host every once in a while in the future if I can bend his arm hard enough. Super smart guy, and I'm just trying to learn as much as I can from him. But anyway, the Prezzo is live and in living color. You're doing so much stuff, you have to have a slide deck to talk about it.
Well, it's easiest to see it that way, and only because when you land on the ground for CEDIA, it's kind of it's a little overwhelming, just because you're trying to fit in, seeing a bunch of different vendors, a bunch of different demonstrations, a bunch of new technologies, and quite and again, it's very overwhelming to begin with. Let me go straight into talking about the show floor a little bit. So basically, in the past few years, CEDIA has placed the sound rooms kind of in the back of the auditorium. And this year, they're going to be front and center, and really not front and center, front and right. And basically, when you walk into the expo floor in the first entrance, you'll actually be right in front of the sound rooms. So they're all going to be up front. Now, The other thing to mention about the sound room locations is their naming structure is a little bizarre to me. They start with SR2, sound room 2. I don't know where sound room 1 went. Sound room 8 seems to be missing in action. I don't know where it's at.
Well, no,
So
it's like it's
really,
turned cockeyed there, right? So they did it 90
it
degrees off.
it
No?
is, but there's no manufacturer listed, so I'm assuming it's not going to be there.
Oh,
So
okay.
so basically, we have what looks to be 7 active demo, sound rooms. Of those 7, 4 of them are Storm Audio systems in them. So, and we're not going to talk through all of these today, but just to mention a few, we have SR3. And one thing to say about this is, before you and I got started, we were talking about micro LED walls, things like that. There's a bunch of different technologies that you can use in a cinema. You can have a projector and a screen. You can have a micro LED wall, and the sound solutions for those kind of displays are different. So one of the things I have to say about the demo rooms that I've at least seen currently arranged for Cedia is that they will be showing or demonstrating a big variety of solutions. And basically the reason that the dealers visit Cedia is to find new solutions for their customers. And that's one of the things, again, I think you'll be able to see quite a bit of in the demo rooms themselves.
Yeah,
So
the Ascendo
good.
thing that you're talking about is really cool because they're coming out with that new direct view center channel, right?
That's correct. And they'll be demonstrating that in SR3. So basically the micro LED solution that they have, they'll demonstrate in SR3 and that'll be on one of our Evo processors. In SR4, the Sound Room 4, that'll be the big screen, Seymour Screen Excellence room that we usually do at Cedia. We'll talk more in detail about that in a minute. We also have Alcon's audio in SR5. Alcon's, of course, also connects digitally with our processors. So they'll be using one of our AES EBU models, EVOs. And then Sound Room 7 is another room we'll talk in depth about today. And this is kind of one of the rooms that we put together. And this was to be, something that wasn't $1 million as far as a theater room. So we wanted to show something that was a little more budget friendly. As far as the products that were chosen and things like that. So we'll talk about SR7 in depth in a minute. We also have L Acoustics. They have their room, and they're another partner that connects digitally to our processors. We have our static booth area in 4409. And then we have a few other active demos in Barco's room. Barco and TPI have a booth 1328. And they'll be doing a lot active demo. Pro Audio and Theory Audio will be using our Elite processor downstairs. Again, audio over IP demonstrations there. And then we'll also be in the Quantum Media Systems room downstairs, HPA 207, and they're also displaying with TPI. So that's all of our demos. Again, we have a lot, but the good news is if you get to the sound room aisle area, you're going to see quite a few of them in one place.
That's really cool. And you were talking about Ascendo, and they're doing what they call the 10 passive right speaker for center channel. TPI has their center channel technology as well, and they were showing a version of it last year at Barco Residential's booth, and it was outstanding, right? And they were actually doing center phantom. They were doing phantoms for left, right, and center with above the screen for the full front soundstage. So I can't wait to see what they do at Quantum. Quantum makes really great screens. Anyway, enough about all these other people. Let's get back to the subject at hand here.
Yeah, that's fine. No, this is all good. Again, and by the way, we're encouraging everybody to get to the other demos to see the other partners because each one's unique, the way that it's presented. So it's all, again, you'll be seeing different things in different places. But let's concentrate on a couple of the rooms. So the first one being Sound Room 4. And as you can see here, I've got the players that are going to be in the room, the manufacturers. We have Lumigen, Movia, Theater Seats, Seymour Screen Excellence, Christie, Ascendo, and Storm Audio. I would classify this as a reference cinema system. This is kind of the top of the line. This system probably will come in at over $1 million for all the products that are shown. Also, we're doing the largest speaker layout that we've ever done, at least Storm Audio has been a part of. And this is a 13.12.10 system.
Yeah, that's 35 discrete channels, right?
That's correct.
what processor do you have that does 30? I didn't know that you guys could do 35 discrete channels.
Well, keep in mind that even though we're showing 12 subs, it's a dot one. Okay, so if you really,
Sure.
if you count it that way, then we're really at 24 channels,
Okay, I'm with you.
and that is our limit on discrete channel, rendering. So again, but that's again, all of the rest of the base management and portion of it will be handled inside of Ascendo's amplifier platform.
Right. See, I think that's really important for people to understand, right? How that load is getting split up. And Ascendo, man, okay, of that huge number of subwoofers, do you know what that complement looks like by any chance from those guys?
I'm going to show you in just a minute. So
Okay,
give me
awesome.
30 seconds to say two more things, and then we'll go straight into the pictures. So one of the things to say about this room is the rooms at Cedia. First off, these are manufactured by the company that is supporting Cedia as far as the logistics. These rooms this year are brand new. They're still pretty much cardboard boxes, which is why you'll notice in most of the rooms they have a large amount of subwoofers. It's mostly because you really can't pressurize, in a normal way like a room would normally work. You really could just try to, throw as much power at it as you can. But this room is an extra 8 feet long. So we requested from Cedia, we wanted to be able to have a larger area of room, and mostly because if you're going to, if your room is 16 feet wide, 24 feet long, you can really only get in comfortably about 2 rows of theater seating. Mm-hmm. We wanted 3. So basically we extended the room to be able to accommodate having 3 rows of seats, plus accommodating some fairly large front speakers. And I'll show you that in a minute. So that's another thing to say about this demo. Again, much larger room. And then it's a hybrid audio over IP system. And what I mean by that is half the system will be fed digitally using AES-67. And then the other half will be done via analog. So basically, fronts and subs will all be digital. All of the surrounds and top channels will all be done over an analog connection. So that's why we call it a hybrid audio over IP theater.
Right on. And just to point out to everyone, in the Giles McCoy approved certified theater of the future is all audio over IP. So if you don't know about audio over IP yet, you should, because this is the way. I mean, when you could just take one Ethernet cable or one fiber cable and run out of your processor and then to a switch and then to your amps, man, life gets so good. I can't wait till they start doing the video for that, right? Just dude, 100 gig link fiber, good to go. Let's do it.
That's right, and you're right. It absolutely is the future. I mean, we're seeing more and more speaker companies that are moving that direction, and I think that's going to be a trend that continues. So, all right. So let's now start to dive into the room, and this is what the room looks like. And as you can see, we've got our 3 rows of seats. We've got risers for the theater seating. You'll notice that we have the subwoofers arranged in banks. You'll see one set of 3 of them on the left and the right of the back of the room. There are 6 more behind the screen. Let's talk about subs first. This is a new design from Ascendo that they'll be introducing at the show. And what's interesting, and I mean, you've been watching what Ascendo's been doing. They kind of have changed the subwoofer market a little bit. They they introduced the world to infrasonic subwoofers, and of course they have everything from a 32-inch all the way up to an 80-inch now. If you've got that kind of room. Now, for most of us, we don't have room to be able to put that kind of infrasonic sub in, but we all want that kind of bass. We want that tactile bass that you feel. And that's something that these new subs will do. And you'll notice that they have kind of a unique driver design. It almost is a square driver, but these are both kick sub and infrasonic sub together. So this is their first kind of combination driver that would be able to do both.
Yeah. We all know that really these are just like 1990s kicker explode square car subwoofers. We know what they really are.
It does have that look. It does have a little bit of that look to
those things from way back in the day? Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
So let me go ahead and do one more view, and we're going to pull out the screen now. And now you can see all of the speakers again with a slightly different angle, and you can see those front channels. And let's talk about the front speakers in particular. So Ascendo makes many different levels of their products. They make active speakers, they make passive ones. Really, they cover a lot of different ground over as far as price points. But their reference speakers, their top of the line, are called Black Swans, and that's what we will have in this room as the front LCRs. So basically, that's the big horn, dual woofer design cabinets that you see in the LCR positions. So
That's beautiful.
yeah, and we're talking a ton of SPL these things are capable of. I think they natively already put out somewhere way over 100 dB efficiency. So you really don't need a lot of power just to make these to get a lot of volume, but we'll definitely have power in reserves for this demo. You'll notice that also, we paired this with, different variations of their side channels. The front wides are on an angled enclosure. The others are on flat, enclosures. And these are part of their passive line, I believe. Or I'm sorry, these are active as well. And then we have in this configuration 6 top channels and 4 height channels. So again, a total of 10 top channels. So keep in mind that in the Atmos spec, as you start to get into the 8 channel and the 10 channel ceiling layouts, that now you move into having front, basically a height channel above the left and right fronts, and another set above the left and right rears. So the point behind having all of these speakers isn't just to sell more speakers. It's to have a very precise and very immersive demonstration of audio here in the system, and that's what we'll be able to achieve with this system.
All right.
So any questions about any of that?
Yeah. So what are the floating Death Stars on each row? Is that somebody's head?
That is somebody's head. That's correct.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, that is correct.
That's cool. We have a comment from Jill saying she's got her Storm Audio Pre-Pro and it's excellent. So
awesome.
I would have to agree. They are indeed excellent.
Congratulations. That's awesome. Thank you for commenting.
Cool.
All right. Now,
and you said $1 million. $1
million. Yep. Now let me come back in. I just want to do one more thing. Let's talk about video real quick. First off, you'll notice the screen is ginormous. This is a Seymour Screen Excellence and Lighter Pro material screen that has 4-way masking. So basically, we'll be showing a different aspect ratio content to be able to take advantage of the masking. Also, we're going to be demonstrating a new technology that Seymour has with the video processor company Lumagen. Basically, the Lumagen will trigger the screen automatically, and they're going to be demonstrating this in this room, this technology. Of course, the Lumagen is going to connect, of course, to our Christie projector. I can't tell you exactly the model, but I'll tell you it's one of the best ones they make. Tons of light output. It's a laser engine, and we'll be able to fill the entire screen up and light it up in a really unique way. So really, what you're seeing in this theater is really the best of the best as far as the video manufacturers and the audio manufacturers. Let's not leave out one more thing: the seating. Okay, there's a lot of theater seating manufacturers, and I'm going to admit something here, Giles. It takes a lot to get me excited about a theater seat. I totally appreciate how important they are. I mean, you've got to have good comfort when you're watching a long movie. Totally get that, but there isn't a lot of that really kind of blows my mind. Well, this is a company called Movia out of Germany, and I would basically call them the Mercedes-Benz of theater chairs. They're basically beautiful chairs, amazing craftsmanship, but more importantly, in addition to the comfort, is they have a lot of the technology stuff built into them, and it's a little bit more than I see than a lot of other manufacturers. So we'll be demonstrating some of that in the room as well. So again, whether you're looking at seats or whether you're looking at speakers or whether you're looking at technology or Storm Audio or Christie or Lumagen, there's going to be something for you to see in this demo.
Yeah, and for folks that want to get really, really in depth with this room, and the specs and all the bits and pieces. Next week on, gosh, it's either Monday or Tuesday, I forget which. I'll have a full panel with the reps from most of the different brands on talking about the construction and all the pieces of this room, super in depth. So make sure you watch the channel. I'll have a link up for that in a couple of days, but that will be happening next week. And then also a dedicated episode with Lumigen next week as well. So they can fill us in on all of their cool new stuff.
Fantastic. All right, let's move on. And I'm trying to keep us on time. So let me move Pat on from Sound Room 4. We'll talk now about Sound Room 7.
And this room I'm super excited about, by the way, even more than the big one, because I'm weird, but man, this is cool.
I got to say, I am as well. So, one of the things that we've traditionally been involved in has been a lot of these, big rooms. I mean, lots of speakers. The price tag, usually creeps up into the, close to $1 million, or in the case of Sound Room 4, it is over $1 million. We wanted to show something that was a little more economical than that, and let me kind of, to give you a reference point, I'm thinking it's 10% or 20% of the total of the big rooms. And that's what we've really achieved with Sound Room 7. So basically, Sound Room 7 is going to be not laid out like a theater. It's going to be laid out more like a media room. And to be quite honest, that's what most of us have. I mean, I don't have a dedicated room. I'd say most people don't. If you're lucky enough to have one, that's amazing. But if you're in a mixed use room, and that's what I've got in my house, they're usually the worst for sound. They're literally the worst environments. It's lots of reflective surfaces. We have lots of windows, hardwood floors. In my room, I've even got cut stone on the wall, so it becomes very reflective, not very good sounding. And that's really one of the things that we really bring to the table in a big way is, again, this calibration ability. Now, when you have the Sound Room 4 level of products, you've got a lot. You can really bring out a lot with the calibration. But in a room that's really not designed very well for this movie, for a theater kind of experience, that's really where we really shine, because we really can bring a profound level of room correction to the equation that really eliminates all of the bad things the room's doing. So really, that's really what we're going to be stressing in Sound Room 7. Again, it's going to be more of a media room look. We've got the seating is all going to be one level. We're going to have love seats to sit in. It's a 7.8.4, so it's a more lower channel count system. We're using and we'll show all the speakers and things in a minute. But this is based around our ISR Fusion 20 receiver, and that receiver will be driving all of the speakers in the system. So, and you'll see we have still quite a few. Of course, direct live active room treatment will be put on for the right as well. So, but here's what the room looks like. So we've got, again, a render. What you'll notice is a few things. First off, we're doing a fixed screen and a projector that'll hang from the ceiling. So again, a more economical system there on the video side. We will have in this room the MadVR Core that they just recently announced. That'll be our video processor. A Cavescape, of course, and Kaleidoscape, is our source. And then the audio partners in this demo are PMC speakers and JL Audio subs. So let's talk about the PMC speakers first. You'll notice that we're using some of their on-wall speakers. These are called the CI 140s. And basically all of the base layer channels we're doing as full range speakers, meaning that the speakers are all capable of playing very low. In fact, on this speaker, I think it plays down flat to 32 hertz.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, and really the reasoning for that was to really demonstrate what active room treatment can do by giving us a lot of horsepower in the speakers, both in the subs and in the base layer. We'll be able to really kind of dial the room in a really profound way using Direct Live's bass control and their active room treatment. Also, you'll notice that we have the new CTS series from JL Audio. So JL has been making for many years. First off, JL, of course, is big in automotive. They're big in marine, and they're also big in the home audio market. But most of I think what we've all been exposed to as far as JL Audio has always been their floor standing subs. They do make in-wall subs, but the ones they make currently are really they're designed for 4-inch studs and a 2x6 stud, but they didn't really have anything that was a bigger depth to give up to provide a little more output and deeper bass. And that's what this new CT series brings. So you'll notice that we've got 4 of their double woofer enclosures up front, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. We have basically, these are a 9-inch depth cabinet that's 14 inches wide, and basically those will be powered individually with their amplifiers. And then in the back, we have 4 of their single woofer bass modules. Again, 9-inch. These are 9-inch deep as well. They'll be providing the foundation for the back of the room. So really seeing a lot of demonstration of technology, but again, more hitting a lower price point, but really kind of, the thing I'm excited more about this one is it's a lot of bang for the buck. That's really what this is all about.
I love this room because when you look at this room, this is like reasonable. I mean, it's people might say, okay, that's a lot of subwoofers, but this is reasonable. I mean, look at the Atmos on the ceiling. You can see this in just about anybody's media room that's an enthusiast. That's what they're doing. On-wall speaker, subs, a screen, a projector. This is all stuff that should feel very, very normal, all very, very reasonable and attainable to people right now. Of course,
Absolutely.
this isn't a $10,000, this is 150,000 or whatever all in over time. But for the enthusiast that invests over a 10-year period of buying gear and stuff, I mean, this is a goal. This is something people can absolutely do, which I really appreciate, right? And I bet, and you're probably not going to be happy that I say this, but I bet people could sit in these 2 sound rooms and they'll be thrilled by both of them, maybe equally as much, right? Maybe for different reasons, but I think they're going to be super excited by this room.
Absolutely, I totally agree. I think both rooms. Again, I encourage people to visit all of our demos, but these 2 in particular are the ones to see. I think that they're really kind of showing, they're showing the dynamic range that's available in the theater side of the business. Quite honestly, this is more attainable here, and then SR4 is the sky's the limit system.
Yeah, cool. Do you have any idea what the screen size is in this room?
This one is a 165-inch wide fixed Seymour screen. So this
is it a 16:9 or?
It's not a 16:9. I believe it's a scope ratio.
Okay.
It's hard to see at this angle, but that's we're in this room. We're using a Christie projector with a anamorphic lens. And the MadVR on the video system. So basically, those 3 will be providing the video content for the Seymour screen.
That's outstanding. And for folks that haven't looked at the new MadVR core, that's a really, really sweet piece of gear for the $5,000 cost right now until the end of the year. It's outstanding. I saw it up close and personal at Audio Advice Live. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing how that performs.
Right on. So as we get close to time here, is there anything else that you would recommend for people to check out that's Storm related at CEDIA? I mean, you guys will all be there, most of the team, I think. Is that right? The U.S. folks?
Yep, that's correct. U.S. folks will be here. We have people from France as well. The other thing I would just say is, try to make it to the other demos as well. I mean, each manufacturer is showcasing something different, like you said. And I think that's really the key here is, every dealer needs to have as many solutions in their toolbox as possible, and I think that's what this variety is really going to give you. So, please check out all of the demos, not just the ones we've talked about here.
Cool. All right. Well, Gary, as always, thank you so much for joining us today, telling us about all the cool stuff at CEDIA and about Storm. I have Storm content lined up, and for folks that don't believe me, here's my upgrade parts for my ancient Storm processor that I'm going to show everybody how to upgrade and prove that these things, even the first generation, earliest models, can be upgraded and continue to be used today at the same level as new gear, which is super important. When you're going to put the money into one of these things, plan to keep it for 10 years, right? Because you can with these. It's not like some of these other brands where you buy it and then you have to toss it out after 2 years when a new HDMI version comes out, right? There's just nothing worse than that. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's one of the best parts, and you'll get to experience this. One of the our products are not static. They when you buy it, it doesn't, it changes, it morphs. You can add technologies, like you said, on the hardware side, but more importantly, the firmware changes. We add features along the way there. So if you're an enthusiast in particular, it's, you know, firmware update day is like a birthday. You know, you're getting something brand new. So
Yeah.
imagine a product that brings you, you know, happiness multiple times a year as a firmware update happens. There's not much on the planet that allows you to do it that way. So
Right on. So, just a couple of more things. So, Richard says CEDIA isn't open to the public. So CEDIA is a trade show. It's not designed for consumers. However, if anyone wants to go to CEDIA, not affiliated with the company, let me know. And there are a number of different brands out there that will help you get a pass to go to CEDIA. So we can get you in for sure. If you want to go, there's a way, and I'll make sure to help you get there. Hi-Fi Haven says, thanks, Gary. Double A says, appreciate you, Gary. So a lot of folks out there also thanking you for your time. So Gary, thank you so much. And I think with that, we'll just see you next time around.
Sounds good. Thanks, Giles.
All right. Take care. See you. All right. So that was segment 1. Man, my video is like super choppy today. I don't know what that deal is. I don't know if it's my camera or if it's this video capture card that I'm using, but in any event, we have another guest waiting in the wings for segment 2. And it's another company that I like almost as much as Storm. Well, I like them as much in their own special way. And this guy is a stand-up dude. So let's all welcome Nick Brown to the stage, joining us live in person from a hotel room.
That's right. I'm happy to be your second favorite, Giles. That to me is an honor. So I will take that.
Gary's still in it. Gary's like, he's still hanging out in the green room. He's like, love you, Gary.
Nick, if you were the first one on the call, you would have been his favorite. That's the way it works.
That's all right. I know how Giles rolls. It's all good.
All right. Sorry about that, Gary. I had to pop you back in there. Take care, man. All right.
I didn't bring a slideshow, so I might be your third or fourth favorite after this one is done. So we'll see.
Never. So tell us where. Oh well, okay. For the folks that don't know, let's go through all the pieces here. So let people know who you are, who you work with, and why they should care.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Nick Brown, as you can see from my cool little title here. VP of Marketing for SVS. I've been with the company about 10 years now. Worked in the audio industry for about 22 years now, previously with a PR agency representing a number of different brands, Martin Logan, Krell, Paradigm. My agency rep Kaleidoscape for a while. So I've been in this CEDIA space for quite a long time, and this will, I believe, be my 17th CEDIA. So I've been around the block a bit with the CEDIA crowd, and it just gets more fun every single year. I can say that much. It's there's all this ongoing joke about how incestuous this industry is. Once people get in, they never leave, and it is so true. I've made contacts at my first CEDIA that I look forward to seeing at my 16th or 17th, whatever one it is now. So it's really been a fun ride.
That's awesome. And for folks that are just joining, this is one of my CEDIA Palooza episodes. So with lots of folks that are visiting CEDIA, and we're talking about what's going on with all of them, their brands and their products. And joining me now is Nick Brown, VP of Marketing from SVS. And it looks like the SVS crowd is starting to show up. You've got Michael, aloha to you. We got Mike G, loves his
Larry
SVS.
Stugel. Love you, Larry.
Joe K is here with you as well. So Alex has also joined. Welcome from West Michigan. Happy to have you on. Sean Clare is with us. So lots of folks. Larry's here as well. What's up, my dudes? What's up, Larry? If you guys have any questions about anything, this is always your chance to jump in. I'll try and shout out folks as they join, as they comment. Welcome, Nicholas. But so Nick, you guys are going to be at CEDIA. So what's going on?
Do you mind if I back up and talk about? We're actually doing an event tomorrow, so I hope if you don't mind me using your platform.
You are crazy, dude. You are all over the place all the time.
Well, I am in this beautiful Hilton in Wayne, New Jersey, so it deserves a plug in and of itself for that. But no, we're doing these series of events with a lot of our retailers around the country. Sonic Thrills with SVS. We're basically going into these different stores, and we're setting up multiple what we call experience zones, where you can get a taste of some of the new speakers that we launched earlier this year, the Ultra Evolution series. in 2-channel and home theater setups. And really the goal is here to engage people, bring them out to these hi-fi stores where maybe they don't even know that they exist. Show them off some different systems, have some food and beverage, do a little presentation with Gary and Larry and I, and just try to get people excited about high performance audio and creating sort of an atmosphere where you're surrounded by like-minded audiophiles and home theater fans. You can have these demos, you can kind of share in your passion a little bit. And again, it's a little bit of a boost to some of our retailers. It's not easy out there in the world of hi-fi, running hi-fi shops. So anything we can do to bring boots in the door is obviously going to be a positive. And so we'll be at Electronics Expo in Wayne, New Jersey. They were one of our first dealers who ever started with SVS. And we actually did our very first consumer event with them, I want to say 11 years ago. So they've been a just truly great partner of ours. And, we're expecting, somewhere in the neighborhood of 100, 125 people tomorrow. We'll do some giveaways. So if you're free tomorrow night and you're within driving distance of Wayne, New Jersey, 6 to 8 p.m., we'll be doing demos, giveaways, having some fun. And we'll have a couple of these other events coming up as well in Dallas, Charlotte, as well as Chicago at the legendary App Store. So
Nice.
You can check out our social and our newsletter to get details on all those. But again, it's just something where, we kind of want to bring some of the fun and sort of the swagger back to the hi-fi and audiophile world. And I think this is one way that we can do it and just kind of raise awareness.
That's awesome. I was at, I guess it was last year at this point down in Colorado Springs, I think it was, here in Colorado, when you guys did a show down there. And it was outstanding. I mean, they went all out at this showroom. I think there were 2 or 3 different systems playing. It was really, really fun, man. And we got a lot of folks. Eric has joined.
I opened up the stream to the SVS Facebook and YouTube. I hope that's all right.
No, it's good. And all you people, if you haven't subscribed and you're not watching this show every Tuesday, then you're missing out on great content just like this. Because sometimes Nick just comes. He'll be like, "Hey, can I get on right now?" And I'll be like, "Sure." You don't know. You're missing it if you're not subscribed. There's so many things.
You know what else is great? I always do surprise giveaways, which I'm going to do another one tonight. We're doing an SP1000 Pro. Giles doesn't even know this, but
I had no clue. So this is
he's going to have no idea how to pick the winner, but he's got to do it. The pressure's on him, and then we'll obviously direct ship to whoever wins. But there you go, Giles. SP1000 Pro for one of our lucky commenters here, or however you choose to pick a winner.
That's outstanding. So it'll have to be someone who has commented in the show, and I will choose a random person from whoever has commented here. So
flattery will get you everywhere.
Alex says, "Oh man, a giveaway." I think that means he's all like that. I'm here for the giveaways. He's like, I know what's up. I know what's going on.
Right. They didn't know about it either until 5 seconds ago. So you probably would have preferred to have this ahead of time so you could have promoted the show with it. But hey, we're spur of the moment here.
This is all good. It's appreciated. The generosity is always a good thing, and this rewards the true believers. So all you people out there, true believers, and we'll get to that more later. And I'll choose after the show is closed, so everybody has a chance to comment. And I will call out and ask for comments. If you haven't commented, you can't win. So you have to comment. And although you don't have to subscribe to win, it would make my heart full if you did hit that subscribe button. Michael says, that sub would be nice. I happen to be short 1 subwoofer. You know what? I think most people are short 1 subwoofer, even me. So yes, 1 more is always good, especially when the price is right. All right, now let's swing this back around to Cedia and what's coming up next week. So for those that don't know, Cedia is a huge trade show for the custom installer market, and these are the people that install all kind of cool things in people's homes, and that could be anything from a home theater to awesome shades to a control system to awesome remote controls, LED walls, lighting, anything that you could think of that goes in your house that's awesome. They'll have it there, right? And one of the things that they're going to have there that's awesome is SVS. So what all are you going to be showing here at the show? What constitutes the SVS exposition?
All right. Well, I mean, I think you probably know a little bit about our Ultra Evolution series of speakers. So this will be the first time they'll actually be at the CEDIA show. We obviously had them at CES, where we sort of did a little whisper soft launch there, and then they've been at Audio Advice Live and some of the other shows, Expona, earlier this year. But this will be the first time they're in Denver. So a lot of the dealers who haven't heard them, because this is an integrator show, these are people who install this technology, home automation and home audio systems and security and things like that. So this will be a lot of the first exposure for a lot of them. And you know, we haven't had a new flagship speaker line in 12 years. So for us, it's a great opportunity to show people how far we've come in the world of high performance speakers. And you know, I think the thing that's really different is at a lot of the other shows, you know, they're typically mostly 2-channel, and we were always the guilty pleasure. We were the ones doing the big over the top home theater demos, and these new speakers have really forced us to sort of change our mentality in terms of how we do these demo systems. So in our cabin, we are going to have a full-on 5.2.2 system with the Ultra Evolution Titans, which is the second biggest tower, as well as some bookshelves in the rear, the center channel, and two of our elevations bringing an Atmos. But then we're also going to have a 2-channel system with some higher end front end higher performance front end equipment. We're bringing in some Hagel gear, a H390 integrated, as well as a streamer, which we're currently working out which streamer we're going to use. But this thing absolutely sings. It's beautiful. It just really brings out the best in our speakers. And you know, we want to make sure that we're especially, you know, listening to some of the stuff that Storm is doing. You know, you got to step up your game. It used to be sort of like, well, we'll put it with this sort of mid-fi front end, and you know, if it sounds great with this, just imagine how good it's going to sound with something a little bit more high end. But now we're at the point where it's like, you know what, we need to make them sound as good as possible. So this will be an opportunity to hear the Pinnacles, which is the flagship tower, really at their best in a 2-channel system, as well as switching over to a home theater as well in the demo cabin. And then we'll have some static displays on the outside of our demo cabin, including some surprises. And Giles, you're not going to get anything more out of me as far as what these surprises are going to be, but they will also be featured in the home theater system too. So there is a little bit of a you know, it's going to be sort of the approach we took to CES. It's not going to be a full-on blitz of like, this is what it is, and making as much noise as possible. It's going to be sort of like, all right, you know, if you're at the show, you can see what it is, you can take some pictures, but it's not going to be available for anyone to actually purchase at the show or anything like that. So I will leave it at that, but we will have some surprises for people in store in Denver.
Yeah, I just have to make a couple of comments here about the Ultra Evolution series. You know, I look at speakers and listen to them a lot. Maybe not as much as Nick does, because this is his profession. But you know, I get around, and I'm at multiple super high end hi-fi 2-channel shows every year, right? So I've heard everything from, you know, $69 bookshelf speakers to $1.5 million horns that are crazy, right? Just the speakers now, not even the electronics. And I'm Nick has not paid me to say this, although if he did, I would take his money. But at the $5,000 price point, the Ultra Evolution Pinnacles are by far my favorite speaker. I mean, they at the cost for the money you spend on these things, these speakers absolutely kill it. I mean, they are so good. And you know, I've listened to them a lot. So here, I'm going to break my camera here. I don't know if people will be able to see this or not. I don't know if you can see over there, but this is my test room where I run speakers 24 hours a day almost, just to see how they do. Well, those are the Pinnacles right now that have been running for, I don't know, 2.5 weeks or something now since they got the slot, and they are just phenomenal. I mean, the double 8s or the quadruple 8s on each one. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, they're beautiful. They sound awesome. They're outstanding. I just can't say enough about them. I really can't.
Well, I really appreciate that, Giles. I mean, and I think, you know, you kind of said it right off the jump. It's, you know, for SVS, we're not going to necessarily claim to be the end all be all, like these are the greatest speakers of all time. But when you consider what class they're in and compare them to other models of a similar price and maybe even double the price, we really want to, be in that conversation as the best. And that's what, whether it's our $5,000 flagship pair of tower speakers or our, call it an entry level SB1000 Pro subwoofer, throughout the line, you don't feel like you're compromising on a single one of our products. And that's really been our design philosophy since, we were building subwoofers in a garage in Youngstown. Like that was what we started out doing. That is why we came into existence, because there was this sort of, clash in terms of price for performance and subwoofers at that time. And our founders were like, you know what, we can do better. And if we bring them direct to market and to cut out the middleman, then we're going to allow us to deliver a higher performance value than what is currently available. And now obviously we have expanded into retail and we do have a wider presence in terms of, where we sell, but it's that same mentality, that same ethos has really transferred, throughout the years into every product that we make, including these new speakers.
Right on. And for Greg, if you like Andrew's stuff, man, just wait till you see mine. That's all I'm saying. Just wait. Oh, okay. Andrew's stuff is really good. Whoever edits for him is I don't know. Maybe it's Christy. I don't know, but he's got a great editor and a great scripter. Maybe he scripts himself, but the scripts are really good.
And that voice too, right? No, don't we all wish you had a voice like that?
Yeah, man. And he's so dreamy. He's so dreamy. He's so dreamy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
So we have a request for a show in Syracuse. New Jersey is like right next to New York, right?
Syracuse it's up there. That's kind of it's far. I just dropped my son off at college in Ithaca, and upstate New York, it is like sprawling out there. You think Buffalo is like, it's Buffalo. It's not that far away. That is, hours and hours and hours and hours away. So if we have a great retailer in Syracuse, and this is actually the next sort of jump we want to make, because, we don't have, there's not hi-fi dealers, there's not home theater stores in all of these cities that we want to be at. So we're trying to figure out a format, whether it's in like a hotel ballroom, or maybe we rent out sort of a, exposition space where we can do these, these events for, people to come in and be able to hear our stuff. It's just nice to be able to have a dealer partner who can, one, collaborate with us to help bring more people into the store, but two, they have a lot of the front end equipment already. So it's a lot easier logistically for us to ship, since we're already shipping them product, that they're selling, to set up these events. But we want to figure out a way to hit more cities, because they've been such a popular thing for us. And, it's embarrassing sometimes. Gary, our president, people will come up and ask him to like sign speakers. And, I think he takes it as this sort of like, we're like rock stars without the fans. And then I'm like, they just asked you to sign a speaker. Like that's, I think you've achieved a level of prominence when somebody has that. And I think it's just because we're so approachable and we bring the party to them. We bring the fun to these different retailers. And I think that's, that's sort of built some credibility in the minds of our community, in the sense that we are willing to, just go out and be, as forward facing and as community oriented as we can.
Right on. So let's cover a couple of questions that are somewhat related here. So David has been talking about getting prime elevations over the bookshelves. Does he need to wait? Maybe, gosh, my video is super crazy right now. I might have to turn this camera on and off. It's kind of a cool effect. I'm like in the Matrix. So maybe the question is there a new version of the prime elevation to go with his bookshelves?
Well, we have the ultra elevation. So we have the new versions, which have a bigger cabinet, bigger mid-woofer, larger port. So obviously they have more dynamic impact, more dynamic range, and obviously they can play a little bit lower. So if you're thinking about, whether it's worth upgrading from the elevation prime to the ultra, it really kind of depends on your room size and some of the other listening elements that you have. As far as the bookshelf goes, I wouldn't necessarily put that as like a direct competitor, I guess, with either one of the elevations. The elevations really are a purpose speaker. Whether you're mounting them high on the sidewalls and bringing in the height effects, or directly to your ceiling to bring in those height effects, you can put them on their side as side surrounds if you don't want to have stands. But if you're talking about, 2-channel or the front LCR stage, the bookshelves are definitely going to be the way to go. But the short answer is none of those are being replaced in the short term. So if you're looking for a great set of Atmos speakers or height effects, then either one of the prime or ultra elevations would be great. And if you're just looking for bookshelves for either 2-channel or maybe side or rear surrounds, now we have the prime, the ultra evolution, and the nano, which is a smaller version of the ultra evolution bookshelf.
Yeah, I believe that those prime elevations I think I've seen them in more installations for Atmos and height channels than any other speaker ever. That is, talk about tried and true. There are 800 million billion trillion of them out there. So you got to be doing something right.
Well, they are amongst our most popular speakers, and I would say the Ultra version that we launched with the new series was probably the most requested product, other than an actual in-ceiling speaker that we've had. And I think a lot of it is owed to the multi-angle wall bracket. I mean, it's just super simple. You have a little template, you drill 4 holes, you mount this bracket, you screw in the bracket to this, the back of the speaker, and then you just hang it there. And as long as it's mounted to a stud, you can pretty much put it anywhere at any angle. And it allows you to just deal with imperfect room situations and bring really high impact height effects, which, I know there are some really good in-ceiling speakers or architectural models out there, but you can't compete with a cabinet speaker with a port on it. And, they come in the white, they come in the black, super easy to mount. And so, I think the fact that it's such a versatile solution, and yet it still is fairly close to full range, it gives people a real opportunity to have height effects that really mean something, and they're not just sort of an afterthought, which I think you get with like the little toppers that bounce it off the ceiling, or a lot of the architectural speakers, which are just sort of I wouldn't call them imposters, but they just can't deliver the same level of fidelity.
They just can't do it. Yeah, right on. So all too cool L88 or 88 says Nick is in Mile High. Not yet.
Wayne, New Jersey.
Almost in Jersey Town. All right. This is a comment. So my home entertainment system. So this is so for the folks that have just joined, if you didn't hear, Nick surprised us all with a wonderful giveaway opportunity. So if you haven't commented yet, make sure you comment, because after the show, sometime in the next 2 or 3 days, I'll be reaching out to someone, and they will be winning. Was it a Ferrari or a speaker? I forget which one was it.
It's a full 12-channel ultra. No, I'm just kidding. SP1000 Pro, SP1000 Pro subwoofer, which can fit anywhere, and it's just a great all-around performer for music or home theater fans.
Right on. And on the next show, Nick might come and give away 82 of the prime elevation speakers, or not. I mean, there's a chance that it might be 82.
We'll give away some spades and bands.
But make sure you comment so that you can have a chance to win that. Sean says he was hoping to stay and listen, but he's got to bail because he's got to go make money to give to SVS. That's
work hard, man. Work hard, my man.
That's kind of him.
I'm with you. This I'm having fun, right? But this is kind of working too, a little bit for me too. So I'm with you, man. And I did see somebody ask what my favorite subwoofer was, and I own dual SP4000s in my home theater room, and I have multiple 3000 micros throughout my house. And I think the micro is probably my favorite subwoofer. Like, I just love the fact that I can get away with putting it in 4 different rooms in my house. And so that is my favorite subwoofer, and it helps that I can get them for free. But it is it's definitely been, for me, the best solution for just having that high impact bass in every room that I possibly could want it, including the bedroom.
All right. So Richard is asking a question that I have asked before, that everyone always asks, which is, you got the PB16. What's up? Bigger, come on. 24s, 32s. If Ascendo can do it, you guys can do it too, right? 85s.
We're all about creating products that are going to be able to be put in a lot of different living rooms, a lot of different living spaces. So to go too big would not be in our best interest as far as making products for the people. That said, we know there's a lot of energy and excitement. We know there's a lot of folks who want us to go bigger, and we've listened to those people. So you'll just have to stay tuned. But certainly we know that SVS has built a reputation as a premium subwoofer manufacturer, and we don't want to disappoint people. So I think you'll see with some of the upcoming announcements that we have to make that, we still want to push the envelope, and it may not be necessarily just, as big as a, Volkswagen, but it will be something where there'll be a lot of innovation and things that aren't being done elsewhere. So that's part of what we're after here, is not just, having the biggest and loudest, but having something that truly pushes the envelope as far as innovation and technology goes. And I think that's where, we can truly set ourselves apart. And I know I'm tap dancing here like Fred Astaire, but, that's how I roll. And we don't talk about what our future product launches are going to be, but I promise we'll have some exciting things to share.
I'm looking forward to that. And here's a question that I get a lot. And I'm glad, I think Supernova put this up a couple of times. So thanks for being insistent. They're like, everybody's like, we want back grills for the Pinnacles and the Titans. We need rears. We need rear grills. Yeah, no.
So if you reach out to our support team, we can probably help you out with that. And it's something that we were originally going to include them, but they're just not really necessary. But reach out to our team, and we'll let you know what we can do.
That's outstanding. I had no idea. I was almost certain the answer was going to be no. That's really cool that the answer isn't just no. I love that.
Well, if there's enough demand, we can make them standard, but it's just something where, I shouldn't say too much, but we'll try to help out anyone that we can. That's what SVS does, is we try not to leave anyone behind. And if it's something that you truly want, talk to our support team. We'll help take care of you.
The short answer is they had a production run of 1,000 units, and it's not enough to sell, but they've got some laying around. So give them a call, or something like that. I just made that up. I have no idea. I'm talking about my butt. Yeah. And Daniel Placentia is very astute as well. Everybody's all like, this CD is going to be extremely special for SVS. And Nick can't tell us anything, and I don't know anything, but my job is to know things. And I think that there's going to be cool stuff coming out of Cedia for SVS. I don't know, but we'll see. People should go. If you can go to Cedia, you should go to Cedia and check it out, because wonderful things happen there.
You can see our new speaker level subwoofer adapter. That thing is killer. New sound path accessory. No, not as exciting. It's
exciting.
Topic.
It's exciting, but for different reasons.
That's right.
There are some 2-channel people out here that just went, oh my God, speaker level input thing. There is.
I have been here and I could never connect a subwoofer, and now it's here. Yeah, it was something that, again, like a lot of people asked for us, and there was like a sort of very point A to point B solution that didn't really take the fidelity into account, and we wanted to create something that looked good and sounded phenomenal. And so we did, and now we've got a lot of happy vintage preamp owners and folks who were never able to connect a subwoofer via line level because all they had was speaker level. Now they can. So again, our sound path line will be on full display at Cedia. Probably not the most exciting thing in store, but again, it's one of those things where it's become one of the fastest growing parts of the SVS book. Just because of, again, we're trying to create real solutions, not make them astronomically priced, not give you that sort of sticker shock with a pair of cables or an optical or XLR. And, again, it just delivers on that sort of promise that I was saying earlier that really started in the Youngstown garage.
Yeah. And then just real quick for Supernova, dude, when you get those rear grills, send me a photo that I can post on Instagram. I want to see them. Get them. Call them, say Nick said, and
don't do that. I'm going to get in trouble.
I want to see I want to see these things. So send out a picture. That'd be awesome, man. I'll put you up. But make sure you're in the picture too. All right. So we are okay. I promised Nick that I wouldn't go long, so we're almost at the very end here. So maybe a couple of more questions. So someone was asking if you're going to ditch the cylinder subwoofer form factor. Is that going to stick around for a while?
I don't. It's not imminent. But I'll be blunt. They're probably they're the least popular models that we make as far as they go. And certainly, again, like a lot of our accessories, they served a purpose. You don't have a ton of floor space. You want that ported subwoofer experience. You can lay them on your side, put them behind the couch, put them in the corner. They take up less floor space. But I think the the height impact visually for some people is a little bit, too much for a lot of the media rooms and things like that. So they probably will not, they won't be around forever, but they have at least another year or two left with the models that we currently have, the PC 2000 Pro and the PC 4000. So get them while you can, because they may not come around. But you know what? We'll never say never. If there's an opportunity for us to really push the envelope with a new cylinder model, we will, because that was part of our legacy. Those were some of the first subs that we made, and we don't want to just walk away from that. But again, you got to kind of look at the bigger opportunity, and right now they're just not super popular. So we'll have to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, I'm not saying Supernova is going to call tech support tomorrow, but I have a feeling that he might be calling.
I know I'm getting an email in the morning. Why are you telling people? But it's okay. I'll take this one.
And Bobby was like, man, I was just thinking about switching over to the cylinders. Well, if you are, better do it. Here's the time.
That's right.
Yep. So Todd is joined from Michigan. Welcome. And then George wants to know if there's going to be something bigger than the PB16. So George, if you go and watch this back, you just missed it. We just talked about it for the last 5 minutes. So watch this one back after you subscribe. Maybe. Or come to Cedia and know for sure. I didn't say anything. I don't know what I'm talking about. I really don't. I'm making it up. All that's going to be new is going to be the new high level speaker input. And everybody's going to be like, dang, that's all. So we have a request for now I'm out of focus, a wider and longer Evo center channel. Wider. Maybe those are the same measurement. I don't know. Wider and longer.
I mean, we've always believed in making, and we'll only ever make a 3-way center channel speaker. So I don't know if they mean more compact or if they just want more drivers on the, sort of flanking the 2 woofers that we already have there. I can say definitively we're not going to have a new center channel this year. So that one will not be coming anytime soon, but I have seen that a lot. And I think it has really great dispersion characteristics, that Ultra Evolution center. So it casts a really wide sweet spot. But, I will say it's not something that we're immediately working on to make an even larger center channel.
What I want to see is 2 Ultra Evolution centers mounted above and below a direct view DV LED or micro or mini LED 210-inch, LED wall with a TPI DSP controller to give us the phantom center channel on that screen. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
You should have talked to me a couple of weeks ago. We could have had that ready for Cedia, but we'll start planning for next year, because I love that idea. You got me.
TPI is going to be. Yeah, TPI is going to be there. They were actually with Barco Residential last year doing that for the LCR. They were both 2 speaker arrays at the top and bottom of a big LED panel, and it was outstanding. So yeah, you just got to figure out how to mount an Ultra Evolution center above your screen. I don't know how you do that, but all right. We are a few minutes over, Nick. I am going to not hold you any longer. So we're going to go ahead and start closing up now. So for all the folks that are just joining, thank you for jumping here at the tail end. There is a giveaway going on right now for a SB1000. If you comment before the show ends, and we're going to be ending in like 3 minutes. So now's your last chance to get in. Comment, and I'll be picking someone at random from the comments over the next few days, and I'll be reaching out probably in the comments here, because I don't have any other way to contact you. So just keep an eye here. I'll pin at the top your name, and then I can figure out some way to authenticate you are who you really say you are, and we'll get that information over to SVS, and they can handle the fulfillment there. All right. So Nick, anything else hot and heavy that you need to get off your chest tonight before we close up?
I just want to throw out plugs for my the events that are coming up tomorrow night, Wayne, New Jersey. We're obviously at Cedia the week after that. The week after that, Thursday, and this is all on our site and will be on our social, we'll be in Nebraska Furniture Mart in Dallas, Texas. Those are always some of our biggest events. Dallas has a huge audio community, and they always come out in droves. So we're excited about that one. The week after that, I'll be shooting videos in Ohio and Youngstown. And then the week after that, we'll be at Apt, which is a legendary electronics store in Chicago.
APT.
And then later in October, will be at Audio Advice in Charlotte. So we did the Audio Advice live in Raleigh. We'll be in Charlotte Audio Advice, and then we're putting together a schedule of some more events to happen later in October and into November to roll out some new surprises. So very excited about that. And then I just have to say thank you to you, Giles. I love what you're doing to build and cultivate this community, and the fact that you go to these shows and you give people a glimpse into what happens behind the scenes at these trade shows. It really is important. And so I got to throw some love your way. But yeah, we'll be hitting the road hard, and I hope to see a lot of the folks. I know I've met a bunch of you at different audio shows. So come say hello. Tell us you check out the happy hour. Maybe we'll do a giveaway. Maybe we'll have a cable for you or something. But we're always trying to play nice. So we look forward to seeing everybody at the upcoming shows.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, and Chris is here in Colorado with me. I don't know Chris, but hey, man, in Colorado.
Maybe you
now,
listen up, Chris.
That's right. So for speaking of throwing love, just one thing that I want to show everyone. So if we have any Facebook users, and we have some older folks on here. I'm one of them. I still use Facebook. The premier Facebook group for SVS is run by me, and I want to show everyone the artwork that I have for that group. It's awesome. Nick, I think you're going to really enjoy this. That's the that's the
oh. Man, I'm gonna put my glass down. I remember when I had that
baby face right there.
Wow, I don't even own that shirt anymore. That's like vintage Nick. Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you, Giles. Thank you for sharing that.
That's right. 31,100 people get to see that picture every day.
Oh, wow. Thank you much. I'll get you a replacement for that. Just let me know the dimensions. We'll get you something fresh. Maybe we'll have a new cutaway to take an updated picture with me next to it at studio. I don't know. Maybe there'll be a cutaway. I don't know. No promises. This is all secret, right? Nobody's watching here, right? This is all
nobody. But I would replace it with a new cutaway photo. But that is a classic, and I thought you might appreciate that one. All right, okay, everybody, that's going to close it up for us. Make sure you comment if you haven't done so before. If you love me, and if you love SVS, you will subscribe to the SVS channel. You will follow them on all their socials. And then if you have any heart at all, you'll follow my stuff as well and subscribe here at YouTube. But as always, everyone's time is precious. So Nick, thank you for spending time with us here tonight while you're on the road. It's very much appreciated. And then for all the folks in the audience, thank you so much as well for spending time. People are asking for links to the group and that stuff. I'll put that down in the comments. Everything will be down there. You can find it all there. And with that, thank you, Nick. I appreciate it.
Happy listening, everybody.
All right. Take care. See everybody soon.